Because I can see us playing sisters eventually, you know.
Immediately. Immediately. Immediately.
Queen Latifah's gonna be your
Immediately.
mama, whatever, you know.
Period.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Seed
Wait,
planted.
we gotta get Queen Latifah on the phone.
When did you know that you had something special going on? Because to
When I
look at you, you can see it and you can feel it.
when I was a kid, I was 8. I knew immediately. I've always known I like begged my mom and finessed her to like give me a ticket. I auditioned for Alvin Ailey's summer dance intensive straight out of high school. Like I was always determined. I didn't get in. I wasn't ready, but I was so determined and I was best dancer, most talented in high school. I've always been an entertainer, like memorized all of like Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson dances. Like I've always been clear. Like I made like my first little one woman show. I made my mom's friends come to the house. I made fake tickets and I did a Spice Girl show and I played every Spice Girl. Like I just would go to the back, walk out, and I would say, "Now I'm Baby Spice." It was very low budget, no costumes,
Right,
but I was like,
right,
"Sporty Spice," and I'm gonna do Sporty Spice. Like, and it was very expositional, but I was like,
right.
"Yes,
So
this is
good.
what this is what I'm supposed to do." So I've always known, I've always been clear, and I'm very grateful for that.
I love your IG handle. I
Thank
identify
you.
with your IG handle. I
It's
moved,
really long.
listen, I moved to New York in 2006 with $200 and a budget truck because I had to move from North Carolina.
Hey,
I drove myself. And I picked a budget truck because they gave you a $300 deposit back. So I added it to the $200 to make my $533 rent. I remember that. And I was
Jesus.
just like, your Instagram handle just took me there. And I was like,
Mhm.
God, there is something so, it's just something about being broken hungry. And I know that's not everybody's story, you know, when they're trying
Mhm.
to live their dreams, but that is a motivator. Can you talk about your handle and how it literally has changed your life?
Yeah. Yeah, so $80 in a suitcase is all I had when I decided to stay in New York. I went there on vacation and just stayed, but when we decided to stay, that's all we had
Crazy.
because we were thought and bopping. I thought I was it's Carrie Bradshaw, and I wasn't taking no train. I was like cab, cab, cab.
Girl,
It was September, and if you don't live in New York, September it gives like LA weather. It's like just a little breeze. It's
perfect.
sunny. It's literally perfect weather. So I went there, honey. I was under a spell. So finally, when I had this out of the body experience and I went to go see Motown the musical, and the director was like, "You have a responsibility to live your dream. You have to do it now." And I was like, "Done, done."
Take it to you.
I was like, I'm never going back to LA. I called my mom, I was like, "Mom, I'm not coming back." So that's what I had. And then, you just hit the ground running. And I think because that I've always lived in a level of delusion, right? And I believe that's a spectrum. Um,
That's real.
no, absolutely. I mean, I wrote and directed and produced my first play at 19. You got to have a level of delusion to create something
To
you
be
haven't
able to do anything.
100%. So in my head, and now looking back in retrospect, that yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, I was a little crazy. I would have I called the people on me because that yeah, I was like, yes, no, I'm going, yeah, I'm staying in New York, and my friends in LA are like, what? Like they knew I knew nobody. I knew one person, but he was about to leave and go do a play. I had no
Oh my
resources, no
gosh.
money.
out there with no real safety net or no real like ability to be like, oh, this will work out. That is showing the higher power that you are trusting.
Yes.
That gets a reward every single time. So it's just like,
Yes.
I love seeing people like you do this thing and then hearing where you've come from.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
really impressive.
I'm very grateful. It was very humbling too. I mean, I talk about all the time. I lived in Jersey City, but I was only making $8 an hour. So I
Oh,
could not pay for Jersey City transit as well as New York transit
you are
to get
talking my
to.
life.
So sis, so what I did was and it was my first winter ever because mind you, I'm from LA. So there was no winter clothes to send. So I was layering as much as I could until
No.
right and made more money to buy clothes from the thrift store, but had no winter boots. I had these Coach brand boots, had them for forever, for like 10 years, and that's all I had. And so what I was doing sis in the snow, my first winter, it was October 2013. I will walk a lot of
woman, but like people who are connected to more than themselves. Connected to service, essentially, and what your gift can give to the world, which I think that's the breath of life. I think that is what needs to happen in all industries. You know what I mean? Like an interruption to like how stuff has been going. We have people like you that see it's more than just the stuff that I'm getting for myself. I need to be able to figure
No,
out how to help the other people because not everyone
100%.
has your resources or your
No, and the reason too is that like I need to be able to talk to niggas like me. You feel me? Like even when you've come to my panels and you come to my workshops, we're very candid.
That's so
I
good.
got time for all that other shit. I talk how I talk, you talk how you talk. You feel me? Like,
Right.
and if you are someone who's like, more poised and button up, that's what's up. But what I'm saying is that typically is seen as like as the standard, or that's something that Black people have to aspire to, or that we can only be in these rooms if we code switch and
We
speak
are
like that.
this.
So yeah, so I want the bus driver who has a limited vocabulary, that comes from the hood, that wants to write sketch comedy. I know how to talk to you. I
Yeah.
know how to communicate with you, and we can speak the same language. You feel me? And
Yeah.
you won't come to a room and it's full of white people and you feel like, how am I supposed to pitch this specific sketch when it takes place in Compton with this girl who's a blood? It's like, yeah, like you don't know that jargon. Like we don't have to give a PowerPoint presentation on edges when it comes to who made the potato salad. You feel me? Like
It's like
whatever you're going to say
yeah.
is going to be supported, And if we have questions, it would be about the format of it, or what's the goal of the sketch, or like at UCB, what's the game versus what are edges, like
Yeah, and wasting all this time. Yes.
100%.
That's real. I love that. Well, I definitely will support, and I'm just so proud of like what you're able to do with it so far.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, can we get a little bit into your character in Swarm?
You got a spare in the trunk.
No! Damn, you got a dead body in there or something?
Yeah. Oh, snap. Oh, wait, I have to drink some more water. Hold on.
Yes, yes. Hydrate, because we got to talk about her. I don't know if I
was
love or hate.
hard.
You were a lot. I don't know if I love or hate the idea of a scene stealer, but that's what you did.
You know what, Carm? I thought that out of all the that your ass would be able to drive. Is you all right, Paris? It's because she on that gangster lean when she driving. Ooh, you good? I'm good. Okay. There's no nail in it. The tire popped because his car is janky as.
That's what you did. I mean, obviously,
wow.
so there's something very special about Swarm in so many ways, but as digging into it and getting to meet your character and her girls, congratulations for that role.
And so I think having Black women at the helm, like the EP is Black, Adama is a Black woman, Dominique is a Black woman. I think that was such an anomaly experience that I'm so grateful to have had. But there's no way I was able to go to those spaces that Cheeks needed to go had it not been for that, you know? But I was so grateful. I was like, yes, sis, we finna be naked. I talked to the boy who I was gonna be with. I said, hey, you need to grab my titties. You need to, I said, you can't touch anywhere below the belly button, but anywhere else you can. I said, we have to really sell this. This is not a joke. And I know this means nothing for you as a white man, but as a Black woman, this is the first time we're ever going to see this. We are all like Lunel and Little Nicky, a joke. Adele Gibbons on Players Club. It's always the punchline.
Yeah.
But big Black women are out here getting, okay?
Top dollar as well.
And are having fully satisfying sexual experiences. We are the fantasy for definitely everybody has their type, but to try to make it seem through media as if like this body is not desired is a lie. So I was like, we really need to express that and show that on camera. And I think we did.
You blow my mind because it makes, it's like all the little pieces add up. Like the confidence that you has been instilled in you since you were young, the reinforcements of your aunties and their bodies, and you're watching them. And now you're this grown woman in the midst of your career, because I don't want to say the beginning or the middle of this, but just in the midst, and you get offered this role where you're gonna be naked, and it's not a problem.
No. And I think it was so crazy, Danielle, because obviously I'm not confident every day. My body is not a part of my identity that I put at the forefront, because sometimes I'm confident in it. Sometimes I love it. Some days I don't, you know, and we do live in a society where I do have certain challenges with it sometimes. Yeah. But for me, it's just kind of like I was exposed to so many inappropriate ideas I had about my body by being Cheeks. There was such a freeing. There were so many like lies and things that were projected onto me about my body and what was wrong about it that was like swept under the rug, and Cheeks just pulled that bitch and was like, let's talk about it. You know, like
thoroughly.
I had to. It was like, no, you the leader of the pack. I wish you would look timid.
Yeah. Listen, I hope in the years to come we're talking about Cheeks in the same way that we would talk about Miss Shug Avery in Color Purple. You know what I mean? I wrote a think piece about Shug Avery when I used to work at The Root, because she just represented she represented an interruption from what womanhood was at that time. And I feel like, you know, there's so many different representations that exist now. Cheeks is not an anomaly, but just the way, like how we talked about the way in which she was handled, the way that it showcased you getting to be this fully confident boss. Like it's just something so spectacular about how new that was. So I was like, I gotta talk to X-Mayo about this.
Yeah. And shout out to Dominique, who was her, because she was like, there were things that she literally just like sewed into me or like stapled me in, because she was like, it has to be just right for your body. But here's the thing, I gotta say this, that it was her and another woman, I believe she was Indian. Her name is escaping me right now. I feel so bad, but they were both two thick women of color. And you know, culturally, it's just different for us. If you Black, Indian, Mexican, like our bodies are different. We eat different foods. We're just different. And so to have those two women at the forefront, I was like, what? Like everything they put on me, I loved. We had too many options, you know, and they took such good care of me. And I think those types of things are so important, especially like when I had to be like naked. And they were standing there, and like Adama came back. She was like, "You look so good. It looks so good on camera." And I was like, "Cause girl, when I tell you,
I don't know if I could do it, but like you give me the
I know. I feel so blessed that so many women that I was just say that are bigger than a size 8, you know, and up, that were just like, seeing you made me feel so confident. Like there's nothing wrong in my body. But I have to say, like, there were women that I challenged. Like there's another Black woman. She's a comedian. Carolina Teresa. She's Guatemalan and Black. And she is the most confident, and we have the same body type. And Carolina has no, what's wrong with my body? Who said? Like, so I definitely challenged a little her. There were so many women like behind cheeks that I was like thinking about and channeling and like getting into my body to be like, okay, yeah, this, I can do this. And to know that like conversations like this could potentially happen just was like, sis, this is not just for you. This is for so many women. This is like when I'm on and I've gone on to glory, there's going to be another girl my size that will be able to see that role and be like, you know what? There is nothing wrong with my body.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you again.
And I love the blonde, the bald, and the beautiful. Amen.
Thank you. I found my look.
And it.
You're everything I thought you would be too.
To God be the glory. Thank you, sis.